In the end, I win. Courage. Courage. I'm going to give you one more story in Nehemiah and I'm going to let you go. Nehemiah chapter 6. Courage. Courage. It's going to take courage if you're doing something or if you're going somewhere. Now, if you're not going nowhere, you're not doing nothing, you'll probably be fine where you are. It's okay. And then maybe this message is for you. But if ever you decide to go against the grain somewhere, to go after something, to move somewhere, it's going to take courage. Because when you make up your mind you're going from A to B, something happens between A and B that tries to change your mind. And it takes courage. Nehemiah chapter 6, verse 1. I'm going to read you this story about the wall real quick and we're going to let you go. Nehemiah chapter 6, verse 1. Sanballat, Tobiah, Geshem, the Arab, and the rest of our enemies found out that I had finished rebuilding the wall and that no gaps remained, though we had not yet set up the doors and the gates. So Sanballat and Geshem sent a message asking me to meet them at one of the villages in the plain of Ono. But I recognized they were plotting to harm me. So I replied by sending this message to them. I am engaged in a great work, so I can't come. Why should I stop working to come and meet you? Verse 4. 4 times they sent the same message, and each time I gave the same reply. The 5th time, Sanballat's servant came with an open letter in his hand. And this is what it said. There is a rumor among the surrounding nations, and Geshem tells me it is true, that you and the Jews are planning to rebel, and that is why you are building the wall. According to his reports, you plan to be their king. He also reports that you have appointed prophets in Jerusalem to proclaim you about you. Look, there is a king in Judah. You can be very sure that this report will get back to the king. So I suggest you come and talk it over with me. This is Sanballat. He says the enemy of Nehemiah. The enemy. Somebody say the enemy. The enemy. Verse 8. I replied, there is no truth in any part of your story. You are making the whole thing up. That's verse 8. Today's term, devil, you a lie. The devil is a lie. Verse 9. They were just trying to intimidate us, imagining they could discourage us and stop the work. So I continued the work with even greater determination. Somebody say greater determination. I continued to work with even greater determination. Later I went to visit Shemaiah, the son of Deliah and grandson of Mehetabel, who was confined to his home. He said, let us meet together inside the temple of God and both the doors shut. Your enemies are coming to kill you tonight. But I replied, should someone in my position run from danger? Should someone in my position enter the temple to save his life? No, I won't do it. This is Nehemiah. Verse 12. I realized that God had spoken not to him, but that he had uttered this prophecy against me because Tobiah and Sanballat had hired him. They were hoping to intimidate me and make me sin. Then they would be able to accuse and discredit me. Nehemiah is rebuilding the wall. And his enemies found out that he was almost finished rebuilding the wall. The scripture says, in fact, he was pretty much done except putting the gate up in the open area. And the enemy came or sent letters telling him that he should stop and come talk to them. And he gave them the same reply: I'm busy doing God's work. I will not stop. And the fifth time, they sent an open letter saying, telling some lies, some tester lies. He got some tester lies, and Nehemiah, smart enough, said, "Oh, devil, you a lie. And I'm going to keep building this gate. And since you're trying to stop me, I'm going to even work with even greater determination now to make sure I finish." And he said he got done working one day, and he went over to a friend's house. Somebody say a friend. He went over to a friend's house. And the friend told him, "Hey, listen, we should go to the temple, open the door shut, and stay in, because they're going to come try to kill you tonight." And Nehemiah said to his friend, this is his friend, he said to his friend, "Should someone in my position run from danger? Should someone in my position run from danger?" He said, "No, I don't think so. I will not." Nehemiah was doing the work of the Lord, and the enemy came in the middle to stop the work. When the enemy couldn't do it the way he came, he tried to come through somebody close to Nehemiah. That's why you got to be careful about who's around you, who's in your ear, who you listen to, who you talk to. Because when the enemy wants to stop, he don't stop at no cost. If he don't look you up one way, he'll try to come another way through somebody closer. But Nehemiah was so connected with God, and he was so courageous that he even stood up against his friend and told him to, "Devil, you a liar. I found out that this ain't prophecy from God. You speak prophecy to me because you're paid by Sam Ballard and Tobiah. You're paid by you're not prophesying to me." Oh God, that's a word. I just said a word of Jesus. Jesus. Yeah, I said prophesy. Even prophecy. Oh God. Oh God, even prophecy. Yeah, you gotta be careful who you're around, who talks to you, who touches you, who's around your house, who's around your kids, even who prophesies. Oh God. If you don't know no better, you'll stop. Nehemiah knew better. He understood the enemy. He understood his opponent. And he understood this is just a tactic to stop me from building this wall. No, I'm going to keep building. And in fact, since you're trying to stop me, I'm going to work with even greater determination now. Because you try to stop me for a reason. That means something on the other side of this wall is about to bless my socks off. So, no, I'm about to keep on. I'm going to press harder. I'm going to work faster. I'm going to be up there longer. I'm going to work with greater determination now. Because you showed up, it's just a sign that you're doomed. And when he couldn't get him that way, he came around to the friends. I'm going to close with saying this. In building the wall, Nehemiah, in building the new center, Christian growth, in between now and completing the assignment, will be words of discouragement and distraction to keep you from doing what God already said do. But because you know your opponent, because you know that he only comes to kill, steal, or destroy, then let that be a sign to you, God, that when the wall